Good afternoon. Welcome to Trinity Heights United Methodist Church and Midweek Musings. I'm Kent Little, lead pastor here at the church. It's good to have you with us, whether you're joining us live or whether you find this at a later date or later time online, as it'll be saved on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Anyway, most importantly, glad you're here. It's been pretty nice weather the last few days, comparatively speaking. I was just outside just a few moments ago, and it's warming up, but there's a nice kind of a cool breeze. So if you get a chance to get outside this morning, I don't know what the weather's supposed to do. I don't know if it's supposed to get hotter. I'm sure it will today. I know next week it's supposed to be back in the hundreds again. So it's that time of year. Hey, anyway, glad you're here. So just kind of the normal catch up with what we're doing here at Trinity Heights. Like I think I said last week, it's just kind of the normal busy right now. Looking ahead to the fall and planning our gearing up for the fall. But a few things still going on here. Still, I think the respite care camp is still going on. I think tomorrow perhaps is its last day. We have Christmas in July, where we're gathering foodstuffs and other items for those in need. Of course, we always have our collection space in the foyer for that purpose, for people to bring in food and other items for those who are in need of a little help through the weeks and months. So anyway, so we're still participating in that. Like I said, gearing up to starting to talk about Welcome on Wednesdays, our WOW program with our meal, etc. Talking about trying to do some different things with children's programming, youth programming, kind of trying to figure that out. Anyway, so we're working on that. In September, we're going to be doing some a little more strategic planning in terms of some goal setting and what we want to see the church continue to be about, as well as how can we be even more effective in our community and in our world. So there are a lot of exciting things on the horizon, but like I say, this summer, normally the summer in the church is a little more. I don't know it's not always really slow, it's just different. A lot of people on vacations, etc. Anyway, so it's good to have you with us. So as I mentioned last week, we started a new sermon series last Sunday, The Pragmatic Christian. Pragmatic in terms of reasonable or logical, not based on theory, or maybe even, well, I'll just say theory. Anyway, so kind of practical, if you will, practical theology, and which I think was huge with John Wesley and the things that he found important, the things that he promoted. And last week we started with Scripture. How do we view Scripture, and particularly through a United Methodist lens, particularly through a Wesleyan lens? How do we study the Scriptures critically, practically? How do we try to get under, as best we can, the text in terms of who wrote it, why was it written, why was it relevant for their day? What was the historical context, the cultural context? And then we bring that forward now in terms of what we read in the Scriptures. How do we find out if it's still relevant, or how do we understand its relevancy for us today? Is it still relevant? Are there things in the Scripture that really don't apply anymore just because they're 2, 4, 6,000 years old? We know more now than we did then. Anyway, so that's what we did this last Sunday in terms of how we look at, how we approach, how we understand our Scripture tradition, our story, if you will. So this coming Sunday, we're going to be talking about tradition and ritual. those things we do, those practices we practice, in order to perhaps put ourselves in a spiritual mind, in a physical way, in a mental way. How do we put ourselves in that position to encounter the divine, to encounter the sacred? Some of those things that we call tradition. Not only tradition of the United Methodist Church, but tradition of Christendom in general. We practice the Eucharist, the communion, our Holy Communion. That's a tradition, a sacrament. One of the ways we put ourselves in a place where we might encounter the divine. Baptism is another one. Those are the two sacraments of the United Methodist Church: communion and baptism. But there are other things that are ritual. Weddings. One of my favorite authors, Frederick Buechner, he talks about a handshake, a hug, a connection, etc. There are lots of ways to practice our faith that can become ritual to us, which are ways we put ourselves in a place where we might encounter the presence of God in our lives, the presence of the divine. So that's what we're going to be talking about this coming Sunday, is in terms of the practical sense of the faith, the pragmatic Christian, and what that means for our practices of our tradition, how our tradition informs us and our practice of faith, and how our practice of those traditions informs the way we live in the world around us. So I hope you'll join us if you can. 10 o'clock here in the sanctuary or online. You can find our link to our live stream, our live broadcast of our worship service on our website. You can access it there. It'll take you to a YouTube channel so you can watch if you can't be here in person. That's at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings. And then at 11:15, if you can be here in person in the fellowship hall, we have our contemporary service. So hopefully you can join us in one of those three ways. We would love to have you. We would be glad you did. Anyway, thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me and taking a minute or two out of your day to listen, to see what's happening here at Trinity Heights. Glad you did. So get out and enjoy the nice day if you can. Have a great day. And as we always share here at Trinity Heights, be a light and love one another, every single other, until there are no others, only one beloved community of all. May it be so. May it be so. Have a great day and a great rest of the week. Goodbye and God bless.